No. Oh, I'll go. You know what?
No.
Screw it. It's me, boys, ladies, and everyone in between. We are back. It's the grand finals, which I believe is a term that's usually used when you have a double bracket, so that you can distinguish between finals and grand finals. But you know what? We don't have that, and we're calling it grand finals anyways. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is the 2v2s. It's the NESA. It's brought to you by Overclockers, Noble Chairs, and I think Endgame gear. Got it. Yep. Thank you. We got a bracket, boys. Let's bring it up. That's the bracket. There you go.
Bracket. Prussian Blue, Lababes. Also, can I gonna break kayfabe for a second? We had at least 5 minutes to decide who was gonna do it, and we spent our time talking about how we would win this tournament if we win it. I'll be completely open with you guys. But enough about us. It's going to be Prussian Blue going up against the Lababes. We've been toying with this matchup in our head, thinking about who is going to be taking it, because both of these guys are second seed in their group. So nobody expected these guys to be going through. But here they are.
They're both the Spanish finals. Inquisition.
Nobody expects them.
It is the case. Yeah.
It took me a second, but I don't know why. It took me a really hot second to figure that out. But, we're just gonna wait for these guys to be ready. I believe they're in the lobby waiting at the moment. But this one is gonna be interesting. We've distinguished the Lababes might have a few weird and wacky comps they can pull out, but also the Prussian Blue have just great execution in 2v2s, and they're super duper strong. And if the Lababes let a couple crucial picks go through, it could be over.
And we say a couple crucial picks, by which we mean Tam Kench, Warwick, and Ornn, which leaves them with no bans after that. So if Watley has something up his sleeve afterwards, then they might be, screwed. And that's forgetting that High on Anxiety is still a very good player who is certainly capable of apparently landing a couple of Varus Qs. So, you've got to consider that as well. They've clearly shown that they like that as a pick, and they're happy to go, blind with it. So maybe that's needing to be banned, at which point you've got 4 bans, and that's ignoring Heimerdinger and Nasus and Zyra and Brand and all these other things that have been getting banned. So lots to consider.
We'll see who takes it. While waiting for the guys to come, and remember, guys, you can participate in the giveaway. Get yourself a Noble Chair. Mothership probably put that in the chat somewhere. Make sure you get yourself a chance. I believe I'm not going to say the number of entries, but a lot. So we get a couple of those.
It's still a way, why not? And
exactly.
And some people still buy lottery tickets, which means they have to spend their money. This is free, and your chances are infinitely better. So the lottery is what it's for fools, but this is for intellectuals, you see. Absolutely. Because there's actually a chance, and it doesn't cost anything. Zyra
shouts could sell sand to I don't know what you sell sand to, but I know he could sell sand to anybody pretty much. But yeah, go on. Zyra coming through along with the set ban.
Set ban on red side. Okay, I think that's more so getting rid of, eliminating the comfort pick, if you will, and we did see it banned in the previous game and picked the game before that. So obviously it's something that's highly contested. Annie going away. I think Brand's actually the one that you want to remove if you're eliminating that combo. I think Brand's the higher value target. Annie gives you burst, but it's more so the fact that she has the initial lockdown, whereas Brand is the damage. That's where the damage comes through.
And we're going to see a Morgana ban, and like I said, they may not have acknowledged that Watley is the Tahm Kench. Right? If they leave Tahm Kench up, he's going to take it. He's going to bully you, and the Ornn will be the final ban of this game. What's the first pick?
I don't think it matters. I think you can respond with Tahm Kench Senna here.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what they pull out, but it's Varus.
Okay. I still think you respond with Tahm Kench Senna if that's something that is strong. Again, don't know, but just going off of Summoner's Rift, it's pretty strong. And then going off of the bans, they both seem to be constantly banned. So let's see. I don't know. Tahm Kench is definitely coming through. It's what you pair it with, right?
The thing is, what do you respond to with this on the Lababe side? Because you need you need. I think the Varus is kind of weird because you are going to poke down the center, but if you're not poking her down, if there is a center, if you're not poking her down at the same rate that she's healing or faster, it's basically a useless pick.
You need to be able to get either separate Tahm Kench from whoever he's paired with, which happens to be Brand, which is why you should ban Brand instead of Annie. It's trying to separate the two of them, or being able to kite.
They've
That's not
gone for
it.
the ego play, right? This is feast or famine. And
That's not it. That's
if
not it.
they don't hit those hooks,
Even if they hit
pick-
the hooks, he has grey health.
Oh, it's true. They have to hit Tahm Kench.
And if they
'cause
hit the Brand, then he just gets eaten. That's not the one. I don't think it's.
You know what? If they do get the 2-for-1 combo, even if they do that, I
Yeah.
don't think they have enough damage to.
We will
kill them
say
in that cluster.
Blitzcrank, does his ult still destroy shields? Is that still
Yes,
that's a thing.
yes.
So that's impactful after level 6. That's very useful. Very, very useful. And the poking will be effective from Varus as well, because there isn't on Brand, because Brand, unlike Sender, doesn't have that sort of sustain. So I respect it. I do respect it, but they have to kill at level 6. And then they have to kill very quickly after, because they're going that I don't know how they're hooking Brand, right? So they're going to be hooking Tahm Kench. They have to kill him, and then he's going to come back with items, which means they still have to hook him again next time. Because how are you getting like this is tough. This is I don't see Blue Side winning this, if I'm honest. And I also don't get ban Tahm Kench against Watley. Like,
yeah, that's a good rule of thumb to go by. Like Tahm Kench actually nullifies like a lot of comps that you want to like, because in my head, if this is anything but Tahm Kench, fine. You know, like you now have two people that you can potentially hook and blow up, or hook and do decent amounts of damage to. But it's Tahm Kench. You're gonna pull in two of them or none of them. Like they are both gonna be right next to you, and Tahm Kench is gonna eat Brand. None of the damage is gonna go through. Brand's gonna come out, be right next to you, and start blowing you up with fiery damage. I think this is maybe a mispick in Champ Select, although. And I was talking to the babes about this earlier. I neglected to talk about it earlier because I wanted to make sure they didn't get, cheated, I guess.
yeah.
That they have been talking about the strategy of letting people do what they want for about a tower or two, and then coming back with items.
Spice. Yeah.
So like if let's say Varus gets about 5k, he'll come back with 2 items, and then you just win through that.
In one fight. Yeah.
And the pair you need with it is something that is like a tank that scales with levels more so than items.
Yeah.
Which Blitzcrank does innately because he's a support. So if they do go that route, maybe they can make something happen, because that Tahm Kench then becomes tissue paper. But the problem is if Tahm
you
Kench
only kill
looks
one of them and not both of them in a single fight, then you're screwed.
Exactly. Because Tahm Kench will come back, or Brand will come back, and they'll have more damage than you can, or more damage and more sort of general survivability than you can deal with. It's gonna be an interesting one, but I do have to say I'm looking at Prussian Blue and I'm like, yeah, this is their game to win.
Yeah. Let's just talk about the Tahm Kench a little bit more. This is a champion who is regarded as bad sometimes, because after laning phase, like when you play him top, for example, you can't do a huge amount because people run away from you, right? So in a short lane where people can't really run away from you, that is in a lane, he's a lane kingdom champion. Like, this is where Tahm Kench thrives. And he only has one target to eat as well, as far as his teammates go. So you can't force him to eat one person and then hit the other or something. Like, I just don't see it happening.
Blitz is a similar kind of pick where it's like, it is a small lane, it's easier to land your hooks, but the problem is it's bloody Tahm Kench. Like anyone but Tahm Kench makes this comp seem possible. And I think they need to sit back and relax, right? They need this virus to get items.
And accept the first game loss and think about what they're doing for the second game. I'm saying, I will eat my words. I will happily do so, but I don't see how the Prussian Blue team comp loses this. I just don't see it. Unless Brand gets hit with every single Varus Q under the sun.
Well, we'll have to
And
see.
somehow gets hooked, which is also it just shouldn't ever happen.
The thing is, if the hook is too far away, they might actually be able to obliterate him before he can get that eaten. But I don't see a chance.
You flash eat. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So.
It's a tough one for the Lababes, but they're gonna have to find a way to make it happen. Right now, just chilling. Both teams not really doing much. Prussian Blue have advanced into the second bush. I think the Lababes are wary of it.
Notice Watley's positioning, body blocking the Brand at all times, so Brand cannot get hooked.
And he has the flash, actually.
Yeah.
Into the turret! It's not
we cannot forget that Tahm Kench does a lot of damage as well in the early game. So Blitzcrank being forced to back away there.
And the Burns flash as well.
Yeah.
Important summon to spell down. And I would say, yeah, Prussian Blue wins out on that trade. Both teams... Oh, okay, the hex clash shows. Both teams having to spend a couple pots to heal back up. None in the hand of Kitsune on that Varus.
Guardian's Orb on the Blitzcrank here.
He wants the mana. He just wants to keep throwing hooks, I guess. Maybe he's trying to beat out the cooldown on the Devour.
That was close. I don't like it. I don't like it. Again, mana doesn't seem to be an issue on this map, as was evidenced by the Varus that we saw previously that just didn't have mana issues. And survivability is really what you want, right? Though I guess you could say that survivability is irrelevant. Like, Blitzcrank's not the one being focused here. He's not the one that's actually looking to die anyways. So the question is whether you can just kill fast enough or not. And then I just revert back to why'd you pick Blitzcrank then? You know, so it's a tough situation.
And look, I think Watley knows he's chilling. He's like, yo, hook me. Dude, like, you're not gonna kill me.
Was timer up?
Yes.
How does that look? Right? Like if Tahm Kench tries to run at you, he has to run through turrets.
I'm in agreement. I think the Varus is sort of questionable here because I don't think he's going to burn through either person quick enough.
No, not until he's died and he's been able to purchase some lethality. No.
Well, the wave is pushing in towards Prussian Blue right now. And look, they're so confident. Oh, wait, the ulti comes through. They found the window here. The hook comes out into Brian.
That shouldn't have landed.
And
that shouldn't have happened. Watley has to escape here. Remember, he just used his flash in.
They're just about gonna... He's gonna live. Okay, this is actually really big for the Lababes, but at the same time, the early kill was nice, but like you said, they need to kill both of them. Otherwise, it's gonna be tough.
Huge blunder from Han Anxiety, who had both summoner spells there. Okay, I respect the int.
Yep.
That's a good play. That is a good play.
Go back and get money.
Yeah. I don't know whether now was the correct timing. It depends what he's able to purchase off of it. Lethality. Okay. I think that was okay. You could probably justify maybe saving it a little bit later. But the main thing that we want to hit on here is the fact that Han Anxiety could have flashed that hook.
Absolutely, but I just think he wasn't ready for God Hands McGee Quinto Hishto. Like, okay, I've played with this guy for nearly 4 years now. He hits hooks sometimes that don't make sense.
Yeah.
And I am the first one to admit he is, I will call him God Hands. But to pick this in the grand finals of NESA Second Wind, where everything is riding on it, it's such a brave play. And Edge of Night picked up for Varus.
Okay, that's okay. Good. Yeah, I respect the suicide there and waiting in base for that gold. Yeah, I think that's a good play.
Okay, Lababes do me proud, and look at the damage coming out. It's not much, but it'll rack up.
It will. And yeah, I don't know whether Varus has that where like as it goes through more.
More targets, people, less damage.
Yeah, so I like it. I really, really like it. And obviously, this is the best of 3, so you have the first game to mess about and try out different things. So if there was a time to pull out this Blitzcrank, I think it was now. So again, I respect it. And if he's able to land another hook again on Han Anxiety, then the pick works. You know, if your opponent aren't good enough to make their composition work in their favor, then that's lovely. And remember, Blitzcrank has the ultimate here to get rid of the shield. And there's the 2 kills. Watley. could have flashed the hook, right? I'm pretty sure he had flash. And so what ends up happening there is a victory that was not because of the composition necessarily, but it's just because the opponent weren't able to outplay you. And that's fine. That's good. You take that any day of the week. What matters is being better than your opponent. In this case, they absolutely were. And that's good.
Aaron,
that's brilliant. The underdog's coming
hands,
through, dude.
Oscar McGee.
That was sick. That was sick. What? Again, why are you even that close to the turret? You're not hitting the turret. You don't need to be hitting the minions. So Blitzcrank shouldn't be hooking you in that scenario. But seeing the opportunity, going for it, that was good. That was really, really good. And it's a best of 3. You only need one more win now, and you've won the whole tournament. So if your opponent decides to avoid the cheese from now on, if they decide they're going to get rid of the Blitzcrank, that's okay. That's fine. You've got only one game needed in the bag. That was sick.
And the thing is, thinking back, we have seen this Tarnkench banned repeatedly against Watley.
Yeah.
The question is, has this done enough mental damage for them to just not ban it? Also, I'm not gonna say what's going on in the background. Can you see Ollie?
I can see. So man, I still think that Tarnkench is good. And I think you pivot the bans towards like a Blitzcrank, probably. Because again, fundamentally speaking, I don't think the Blitzcrank should have worked, but it did. And they weren't able to flash the outplays. Outplay the flashes. So you have to accept, look, we didn't play well enough. We're probably not going to in the future. Let's just get rid of it. And that's fine. That was nice. We're already into second lobby here, so pick and ban will come through shortly, and I really, really do want to see how it switches up, because of course they're switching sides as well. So now we're going to see the counter pick is not actually an option anymore, right? So Blitzcrank came through as the counter option, so now it would have to be blinded, and that gives the option for the opponent to respond to it if they want to leave it up.
But Red Side also gives the Lababes a bit of control now, because they can see what half of the composition is going to be and say, okay, we're comfortable picking this pair. But I am very, very interested to see what Prussian Blue do in response. Honestly, like, the Lababes are kind of veterans when it comes to these small form tournaments. 2-year winners of Triforce, right, which was a 3v3 tournament. Winners of 1v1 tournaments. They are really good at finding what works. And immediately the Blitzcrank
that's the respect
straight away.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you now, Kinto Hishto is feeding off of that. He is feeding off the fact that they had to ban his Blitzcrank for sure.
Does the Tarnkench get banned now? If the counter was the Blitzcrank, right? Do you ban it now? Or do you have a second counter up your sleeve?
We'll let them banned for Prussian Blue. Are we going to see a Tarnkench ban anywhere?
I'd like an Ezreal also as a counter pick to Blitzcrank rather than banning it. I think you actually leave it open.
The thing is, we live in a Costas world where everything is perfect and everyone can play everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's just about whether they're comfortable enough on it, that kind of stuff. And we're actually going to see the Annie ban, which, again, you said was...
I think it's the wrong one. I think Brand is the more powerful in that duo. And the fact that he can be paired with other things. We've now seen a Tarnkench and a Set. You know, whether it worked or not is irrelevant. It's the fact that the Brand is the power piece there, because he's the damage. You just need the setup, and Annie happens to be the setup. The best setup. But you can pair it with other things. It's like the Taric Sona. It's like, okay, you ban the Taric and then you just pair the Sona with Tarnkench, because the Sona's the problem, right? So Trundle is the last ban. We have to see an Ornn here from Red Side, otherwise they've lost. So
have to agree.
Which means Zyra is up, Heimer is up. A lot of these power picks are up.
They may have a sneaky counter pick to Zyra.
Tarnkench is up. Okay, well, this is Ornn. This will just be Ornn.
Ornn straight away.
This is Ornn. So we're going to game 3. So I want to see what the adjustments are in the chart.
It's probably going to be ban Ornn. The thing is, they banned on blue side. They've let it go. I'm just thinking to myself, like, and the Trundle ban is genius, right? We talked about it before. If you see an Ornn, I'm not sure if we talked about it in commercial or during the
If you see a tank, you pick Trundle. Yeah.
Exactly. And especially Ornn, he's going to be buying tank. Don't do this to me. Trundle, Ornn is going to be buying tank stats and Trundle's going to steal. We're going to see the Vayne come out in the hopes that they can maybe do some sort of true damage to kill it. They're not.
The problem with Ornn is not the fact that it's tanky, it's that he gets to buy items. And by doing true damage, it doesn't save you. It doesn't save you at all.
He still has 500 HP overview.
Exactly. And so they've gone with Gnar as well, who also does percentage health, but it's not the problem. That's not the problem. They can probably round this out with like a Varus or something, or Brand. It really doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah, there is. Ornn paired with anybody trying to lane is a pain.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So it'll take about 20 minutes, but I'm pretty sure the on composition should win. And what they should do is just avoid fighting as much as possible. You could go for it level 1. Not necessarily level 1, but like pre the possibility of Mega Gnar. If you can get a pick onto Gnar, you might just be able to kill him straight up. Post 6, just wait. Just wait until you outscale with items at that point. But again, once again, we've got a scenario where I'm pretty sure one composition should just win if played correctly.
Okay,
but these are humans.
There is a
who
win
are
avenue
as well. They're old now. They're gone past their peak years of university.
There is a win condition for the Lababes here, and I think it's an early fight, and you have to jump the Varus. You have to jump the Varus and kill him so that he doesn't have the option to go back and buy.
But how do you jump the Varus?
You can't. It's pretty hard. I mean, Gnar has an opportunity, but it's like
at 6, yeah.
I mean, even pre-6, he might be able to get it off with like a slam into condemn, but it's such a tough. But like he just flashes away. Like he just flashes away, right? Like he should.
Yeah.
And they just wait for the Ornn to scale. The only option they have is to eat around the Ornn.
Yeah.
But that's a bad strategy to have.
Yeah. So I imagine Watley's going to go with the spellbook again, by the way. So you can hold on to defensive summoners in the early game, and then in the late game you switch to the aggressive ones. You switch for the snowball when you're actually looking for the engage to kill them. So I imagine that's what you'll go with, and I really like that once again. Varus is just going to poke you out again, and Mini Gnar having reduced stats is going to be poked quite well, you know. As well as, of course, Vayne. Vayne can tumble to dodge. She's not too bad, since the Varus will be standing quite far back, so you'll have the opportunity to dodge and that sort of thing. So I feel like Gnar will probably end up being the one that gets targeted most. But as far as playing the lanes, there's not actually that much shove for the red side here. Everything they do outside of Mega Gnar is quite single target. So you don't really have to worry too much about like wave manipulation and trying to hold on in the game if you're blue side. So this is tough. This is tough. Unlike entering into a giveaway for free, where you actually have a chance of winning stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mothership will drop that link in Twitch chat, so make sure you guys get into that. But also remember to follow on Twitch, follow on Twitter, keep up to date on everything happening with NESA. And once again, thank you to the people bringing this tournament. It's Endgame Gear and Overclockers UK. Buy some merch. I'm looking at the Vayne as well, and I'm like, she is not going to do much. Vayne typically a champion that scales with items, anything, and you're not really going to get a chance.
It's attack speed, I think, is the main thing that Vayne truly scales with, right? She's not going to get to purchase it unless she dies really late in the game. And even then, I still don't think your problem solved.
Because then it's just a fair fight. Because the owner's already bought items, so.
And the problem is you're against 2 people with items, and when you only have 1 person with items, so that's the issue of Ornn. So.
It's a very, very precarious position to be in if you're a Lababe fan. Not many of those though. The Pickham's heavily favored towards Prussian Blue.
Yeah, if you are a Lababes fan though,
panic mode.
They only need one win, and they only need their opponents to make mistakes, which they already have. Right? We talk about this hypothetical where blue side should win based on composition, but that doesn't matter. They can still mess up.
And they should have won the first game based off composition as well. Like, that should have been a win for sure.
How do you feel about the Hail of Blades on High Anxiety here on the Varus? I
mean, I
think I
it's
prefer
good.
Comet, actually.
So I actually think it's good for the situation he might find himself in, which is, oh, I'm being jumped and now we need to fight.
Yeah, yeah, true.
So it might work in that situation, but I think Comet is also a fairly good answer. I think it's a bit more respect. I think Halo Blades is a bit more respectful in the sense that he understands that they might get in on him or they might jump in on him. He has to use his flash to get out and then really just fight for his life.
Interesting that they've gone for the Guardian's items again. If you're expecting to scale, maybe it's sometimes more preferential to go with components because you know you'll be able to actually extend them into something. But at the same time, the Guardian's items are the most value for money, so it guarantees kind of safety in the early game in that regard. If your opponent has them and you don't, you're going to lose those fights if they end up happening.
And if you take a bad trade, you can always just heal up with a passive of that Guardian's hammer. And they know Watley and High on Anxiety just literally sitting back because they know their win condition is just to get items onto Ornn.
As the Varus there, I actually think I would have not killed the minion, so the minion actually survives and helps to push towards you. I think it's still going to be pushing anyways, but you want to speed that up because that position that they were just in felt quite uncomfortable. Wasn't relevant because CS isn't an issue, and you know, and so they could just wait as much as they wanted to. Nice knock up, and that does follow through with a decent amount of damage.
Doing a lot of damage actually early game. That's a big 3 proc. But
yeah, that is really nice, but it's not enough.
They will heal it back up with their pots and with their passive items.
Yeah, and as they get the health packs and stuff like that, it's nice early trading, but we'll find that it's just irrelevant, I think, unless they're able to consistently pull those sorts of trades off. But as the wave shoves under turret, you're not. So, yeah, they'll probably bounce back from that. But it's a good demonstration of the percentage health damage which this comp demonstrates.
If they can get that early kill onto Varus, I think that's really important. Like, if you don't get the early kill onto Varus, he's gonna come back later than the Ornn and come back with so much damage. Ornn already buying those items, so you're now dealing with 2 fully stacked champions. The Waves happy to just keep him on the tower. I'm not sure if this is what they want or it's just what's happening.
Well, they took half of the tower's health with that.
Oh my goodness, I did not even notice that, Ollie, until you said it. This may be a tower game and they're looking to... Do you know, actually, they can't actually stand up on them too well.
No, until this Varus is able to actually properly start wave clearing. No, they can't actually deal with this. There is a second tower though, so they have that security, if you will. That's something that they can rely on, and they're not going to get this health pack, I don't think. And I don't think you're going to follow that snowball either. That might be a throw, but they didn't need the health pack. And here's the first build that's coming through from the Ornn, and this should be... I hope that he leans towards some sort of sustain.
Bramble.
Most importantly, is being able to actually clear those minions whilst getting poked out. If the tower is going to actually be an option, I do like your point of Bramble, but I actually think it's sustain, more so importantly.
He's actually gone for Bramble, and the engage comes in on Vayne.
Interesting. They have the CC layering, and she doesn't have a cleanse to deal with it, so the second part of the ultimate does come through, and there's decent damage, but Ornn is really getting chunked out, and I'm pretty sure he's dead here. There it is.
And that's not bad, right? Ornn goes back, but it's no value because he's gone back to buy nothing. He's already bought his items.
Correct. Oh, they can go in. They can go in. That's the kill. Oh my god, such a good Zhonya's. That was beautiful from High on Anxiety, but crucial mistake there. I don't know why they were fighting on blue side. What were they trying to force there? Why were they going in? If they're really concerned about it being turret damage, then I don't know. But they didn't have the damage at this point in the game. So Vayne survives, and now they're kind of screwed because Varus doesn't get to buy now. That was sort of the power play of going with this Ornn, is that you can have 2 characters with completed items by having the Varus die. and Ornn building his own, but now that's just not the case. So we're at a problem point here. I think blue team has to get 2 kills in one fight now.
The Lababes have shown us once they can take victory from what looks like defeat. Can they do it again against Prussian Blue? They've got this Gnar, this Vayne. We saw the percentage damage doing bits, right? The Ornn sort of melted like tissue paper when I don't think he expected to. And the Varus just couldn't do any damage, and he's not going to do any more damage, right? Like, he didn't get that buy off, like you said. It was so crucial that he got that first back. If anyone was going to die, it had to be him. And maybe a massive misplay from Prussian Blue here.
I just don't know why the fight was necessary. I feel like you can wait until the first tower's fallen. I'd be pretty comfortable with that. Then you have the concern that they can take the tower as one of you's respawning. But if it's early enough on in the game, then that really isn't an issue. And you do have good wave clear with both of these champions. Well, good wave clear, decent enough wave clear. So I don't know. That wasn't the play for me, I would say.
And another buy comes in for Ornn. It's going to be still caps. So he's going to have a lot more armor. But I don't think they're looking for him in this fight. They're going to walk around him, I think. And if they don't walk around him, I think they're just going to take 2 turrets. Because they have the pressure now.
I'll tell you what, Varus poke is irrelevant, actually. Because they have lifesteal. They have Guardian's Hammers on both of these champions. And they're getting full
control of the wave as well. So they're getting all of that heal.
They're not able to threaten them, and I guess that's kind of where the thought came through on the Bramble Vest, and plated steel caps is really nice, actually. That you could have the concern that Ornn is going to be a problem to kill, but these champions are definitely made to deal with it, for sure. They have, it's their kits, the percentage health shred, the true damage, and it's actually magic damage is what Gnar throws out with his, I think?
Yeah, Hyper.
Yeah.
Hyper does magic damage instead of physical damage.
So the plated steel caps are nice, but they aren't really stopping the problem fully,
And now the scariest part becomes, like, if the Lababes want to, they can just wait and eventually come back with one of these two. It could be either one of these two stacked on items, and then that Ornn just becomes a non-issue, right? If Vayne can go back and get 2 items, that Ornn is going to be done. And if Ornn can die, they lose. At that point, they lose the game. Because Varus can't kill anybody. I'm sorry, Varus will not be killing anybody in any of these fights. And it just looks like game over, but we'll have to see if Prussian Blue can maybe pull it back here.
I have to wonder, is it worth just hard shoving now that you've kind of got lower cooldowns, a bit more higher base damages? As blue side, whether you should just be shoving. The scare is that Gnar, as you can see right here, he has Snowball, by the way, can have Mega Gnar, and then you aren't under the safety of your own tower, but you need to be shoving to prevent the threat of the tower falling, and you need to be shoving to ideally minimize the amount of gold that the enemy's getting from minions, and you can poke them down a little bit better under turret and all those sorts of things. It's a dangerous sort of dangerous toss up here, and I'm pretty sure they get the tower here if they aren't too scared. The worry is you don't have Mega Gnar to threaten.
Whoa, look at the poke coming through on the Varus is forcing him to go through pots. And just a heads up, right? The Vayne has 4.6k in the bank. Gnar 3.7k. So both of them will be able to buy items completely the next time they back. If they do not both die,
that wins.
And the thing is, both of these characters can pretty much escape from a fight if they lose. Like, how after you've spent everything as Varus and Ornn, how do you catch a Gnar or Vayne who wants to walk away? The answer is, unfortunately, you don't.
So this is, again, I'm happy to eat my words. This is sort of where we actually start looking at the Ornn. Just built a Bramble Vest. And so that the solution here is to just win a straight up 2v2 and kill both of them in one go. And so in order to be able to do that, you actually have to, you just have to get the Ornn as fed as possible. Or, not as fed, but as purchased as possible, right?
And
I think
the CS is going on the Varus as well. This is like, and there's
but
no
Ornn
other
can't
option.
step up. So red team here, I'm looking at hitting the turret as fast as possible. You're trying to force your opponent to have to engage on you quickly and have one of your teammates ready to escape. If the engage does come out, probably just sacrifice one of them anyways. You may be able to kill someone, but the problem is this deep down the lane. If one of you dies, the other person is far less likely to escape, and so the enemy might be able to turn it into a double kill, right?
And
then you want someone to die anyways. So yeah.
Another thing I want to point out is because they're so far pushed now, they have control of pretty much all of the health packs.
Health packs, yeah.
So any damage that comes out is pretty much going to stick. But we are seeing the Guardian's Hammer coming in clutch for high on anxiety. But this is such a painful game. 6,000 gold for this Vayne now. If she is the one that happens to die, she is going to come back ready to kill. Like, they could definitely tower dive.
Here's a question: how soon do you force this engage as blue team? Do you wait until the tower is incredibly low that they can actually make a push for it? Do you just wait until there's a moment in time where, okay, that's a turbo chem tank. That's an early ignite as well, just because he might as well. He's got the spell book.
And with that, he's gonna be zooming forward, and I think the Vayne might actually die here, and she'll be the one going back. No, Grid Condemn.
You have to kill both of them at the same time. That's the thing.
Yeah,
you have to. So that's why they're not fully committing onto one person. Also, ideally wait till Mega Gnar's gone. So you see Varus actually aiming a lot of his damage at the Gnar, trying to build the rage bar. Yeah, exactly. Look at that. Letting Vayne just walk away. You're not hard engaging because you have to kill both of them. Really,
Vayne is killing herself. She's done.
Yeah, this is smart. Now they're going to look for Gnar here.
Chem tank. Nothing.
But as I said, Gnar stands far away. He had Mega Gnar saved as well. And now you're doomed.
Oh my
now
goodness.
You are doomed.
Shield bow. Phantom darts are coming through. Once the Lababes get back, 14 seconds they have to wait. They might lose a tower in that time, but once this Vayne gets back, she is going to be eating them alive. Kinto Histro just sitting there waiting. Zerka Greaves. The tower's going down, for sure.
The shield bow is ridiculous, by the way, because again, they have to kill someone as quickly as possible, right? Shield bow is gonna give you a fatty shield. So now the Gnar has to be the focus, which means you're getting free hit by a Vayne with 2 items and completed boots in the meantime, right? This is dire. This is dire. You have to wait for a Mega Gnar to expire to then insta-kill the Gnar. That's it. That's the only option.
And this is so bad for Prussian Blue as well, because this is game 2. Like they still have to play after this.
Yeah, if they lose here, they're out. They're done. That's the grand finals. That's the grand finals done. So
the wave clear from the Ornn and the Varus is not bad. And remember, Ornn will continue to scale. The Vayne is pretty much the Vayne is at her limit. She's bought everything she can and she needs. But at the same time, that's everything she needs. Varus isn't going to do any more damage. Gnar, pretty fine with himself. And like I said, they will get to a point where they can just eat around the Gnar and eat around the Ornn, right? Just dive in, kill this Varus. No stopwatch, only has flash and cleanse. So we're good and get. And look, they're letting the wave push into them too. They want to bring out this Prussian Blue team towards them.
Yeah, watch Gnar as well. Watch his handling of the rage. Never letting it go. To a point where he'll actually go into Mega Gnar until he actually wants to, you know? It's really good. Prussian Blue just don't have a huge amount of options, but of course, Ornn's okay with that. It just means we're going to be sat here for another 20 minutes until he's 6 items, and then they pull the trigger, right? You know that Vayne's looking for a condemn angle.
She's just looking for auto attacks. I will say the Bramble Vest will come in clutch. Against this shield bow, but still, it's gonna be a toughie for sure. Ornn heading back, looking for something to buy.
Do you finish the Bramble Vest into
he does
into Thornmail? Because you don't want health, you kind of want armor above all else. So and also the increased grievous wounds are also going to play a big part. So that is the case. What do you follow this up with? I think it might be Frozen Heart.
do you know what the messed up thing is? He's still just the same amount of items as this vein.
As this. Let me just quickly give Frozen Heart a Google. I was thinking it could be Randuin's because Randuin's is genuinely just like the better item over the two of them. But the thing is, Randuin's don't care about true damage, and also it gives you far more health. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
he went for it. It didn't work out. And
Well, he didn't press
yeah.
the button for it to work out. So.
I don't. I feel like they're in a really good situation, but they also can't squander it, right? Like they have built themselves a window and an avenue of victory, but still, you have to be on your A game here, because Watley and High on Anxiety are no joke. The wave coming towards them, I think they're maybe looking for the opportunity, but you can see how far back this Prussian Blue team is playing.
Okay, so Frozen Heart is the angle. I've given it a Google. You want the passive reduction in attack speed, and you don't want any health, and so that's what you're looking for.
Oh, Ornn!
Landed the snowball. Varus is a bit too far up in lane, and he is able to flash away. Can he escape the vein, though? Yes, it does seem like for this time he can. The problem here... Oh, no, stepping just too far forwards.
And what a dodge from Kitsune as well on that charge.
Health is the problem here. This is where you go for the turret. This is where you choke out those health packs and you go for the turret. Heal. I think they've got it in the bag. I think they've got it here.
Is so low. Like anything, a slight breeze will knock him over. If he gets hit by a snowball, he's gonna die. They're pushing for this turret, and Prussian Blue can't do anything about it. The snowball comes out. Great dodge from Anxiety. Oh. Watley.
They've got the turret. They've got the turret.
Yep. They're looking for a fight.
This push.
Oh, the boomerang hits.
There's no ultimates. They can't actually go in on them. They can't do anything here. They just get the turret. Heal being used.
And there it is. The turret is down.
It's gone.
This is absolutely insane. In an environment where we said to ourselves, yeah, the only win
we're going to game 3, I said. Yeah.
We're going to game 2. Eat your words, first of all, Ollie Shout. You're on this side of me. Eat your words, Ollie Shouts.
I accept it. I accept it.
In a game environment where everybody said to ourselves, we are not going to see 2 turrets, the Lababes managed to craft a situation where they do it. They went into Champ Select being the underdogs 2 times in a row, and both times through great mechanical play, great thinking, but also I will say some slight misplays from Prussian Blue. They managed to take the win, and honestly, I have to say, Lababes, we take it all, man. Like they always, and by they I mean we always find a way to break the mechanics of the tournament, and they found it today. They really did find it today, and I have to say, well played. We doubted the picks at the start. We saw the vein, we saw the gnar. We thought to ourselves, this is over. We're going to game 3, but the Lababes come out and snatch victory from victory because they played well the entire time. I'm not going to say
they snatched victory from victory.
From victory. I was going to say defeat, but they were never looking like they were going to lose in that game.
Again, yeah, at least my expectations, and this is coming from a gold, my expectations based on the draft is they shouldn't have won either of those games, but they played them well. They played them better, and they deserve to win the grand finals and whatever. Is there a prize?
I believe they win mice.
Gaming mice. They now have gaming mice.
I do believe we're going to have interviews interviews coming soon. But before we do that, before we have a little chat more about what happened in that game, remember, guys, you can hit up that giveaway for the Noble Gaming chairs, and also to follow NESA on Twitch and Twitter. Keep up to date on everything. But I believe the players, in addition to Jess, are here for an interview. So,
nice.
So, were there any pairings or comps that you felt helped you secure your win?
Honestly, I think it was Brain. Like, so it wasn't necessarily about team comps. It was like, I mean, we were kind of reacting to our opponent's team comps. It wasn't necessarily like set picks, and that's what kind of helped us, I think.
Yeah, it was very much kind of in the moment picking these characters. Like in the semis, playing the Trundle into the 2 bruisers was always in the back pocket. That's kind of, I think, and during the last 10 seconds, I was thinking, wait, Trundle is actually so good into both Camille and to Poppy. The Blitzcrank was again something that I thought it was going to be good in nature, and then kind of just took out because it was going to do good into Tahm Kench and cut, just literally makes half his health disappear. Yeah, and that's about it really.
Well, I know you guys both have great synergy after being teammates for so long. Before I pass over to casters who also have some questions for you, I just wanted to ask, Gil, is it true that you've been drinking?
Yes, it has been very true. I've taken a lot of shots before. Dude. I was so
Is that to
tipsy.
calm the nerves or because you play better when you're drunk?
I was playing with my girlfriend and my boys, and we just drinking. And I was like, "Oh, guys, wait! I have 2v2 games. I have to go." and now I'm here winning the tourney, I guess, with Aaron. So yeah.
Nice. So our
I had
casters have their questions as well. Sorry, Aaron.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
My first question, like, my first question is like, in terms of when you picked out that Vayne and Nah, was that something you planned to pick into Nah? I mean, sorry, Ornn, or was it something that you looked at and thought, okay, we can take advantage here? And did you expect it to work?
I mean, I kind of suggested Vayne because I like playing Vayne, and I was like, "Yo, Vayne into Ornn? That sounds pretty good. Like, obviously he's gonna build up, he's gonna get tanky, but like Vayne does true damage. I think he'll be hella pog, you know." And yeah, we just went Vayne, and they inted for them.
Yep.
Like them dying early as Ornn literally threw the game, dude, because we
Mhm.
always had the advantage. And yeah, by the way, shout out to Alex. Sorry. And continuing that, yeah, I think Vayne was a good pick into them. I mean, the thing is, Varus went Hail of Blades, dude. What are you doing?
Mm.
He should have went Arcane Comet. Like, he's not gonna try and, like, I don't know, dude. He didn't hit a lot of Qs. He didn't really poke us down. So it was just like a really calm game. Like, the things, I was getting hella tilted, not gonna lie, dude. But Aaron kept calming me down.
Mhm.
Aaron had the big
As usual.
brain.
And then my second question is directed at you, Aaron Kinto Hishto, God Hands McGee, Osgun. When you hit that hook in the first game, what would, like, first of all, what was going through your mind before it? Second of all, how did you feel after it?
Is this the game-winning hook?
They're essentially
the-
game-winning hook, yes.
So
The flash
so
forwards
they,
onto the house.
they were pushing us in, and I
Mhm.
had flash. The whole time I'm sitting super far back behind the tower, in the hopes that he's gonna get baited into taking the health pack. And literally the frame that he takes the health pack, I flash and hook him. Like I'm constantly looking out for him playing that very predictable, like moving into those kill ranges. And literally, I think if you watch the VODs, I'm as soon as I get my flash, I'm literally sitting right far back, and I'm telling to Gil, watch when he takes the health thing, because then we're just gonna burn both our ultis on top of both our CC on top of him, and then just kill him on the tower. And it worked out. As soon as he took it, we went for the kill.
Yeah, then he flashed out. Then he tried to shield up, but Aaron ultied, breaking the shield.
Yep.
Easy kill.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the questions for me, Ollie.
Okay, so sort of we were arguing. I don't know whether it was between the breaks or on camera or not. Blue side versus red side. How do you feel in this game mode?
I think blue side is so much better, dude. I think like you can always get a strong first pick, like
And it's the counter pick.
Yeah, either be
Yeah.
Ornn, Renekton. I like Set, or like Aaron likes Snar. Like you always get a strong first pick, but like the second pick, I think does a lot. Seeing what they pick. If they pick two bruisers, you know, you could, I don't know, pick another bruiser, pick like a mage to outrange them. Like you can always, I think the second pick is like really strong.
For sure.
Aaron?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Blue side is just stronger.
I have to say, well played. That's the other thing as well. Because I looking at both the comps, I actually thought that you guys shouldn't have won those, but you just straight up played them
Wow.
better. Genuinely, yeah. Like, because I was like, okay, so the Blitzcrank shouldn't really hook Brand ever. And if he hooks a Tam Kench, then he should be surviving. I didn't expect Brand to get hooked. I didn't expect Tam Kench to get hooked under turret. And then I didn't expect Ornn to int early either. So I was like, okay, well, but you guys outplayed. Like, and that's what's, you know, it's good stuff. Very well done. Very well deserved, for sure.
Last
Thank
thing
you.
to say, bro. The Lababes,
Yeah, thank you.
We win these tournaments. We do super well.
Yeah.
Shout out to the boys. I have a lot of respect for you guys. But I think that's it for now. So you guys are free to go off. Gil, continue drinking.
I'm gonna go keep drinking, bro. I try not
Victory
to take
drinks.
shots. I tried not to take shots mid-game.
It
'Cause I was like, I don't want to get more
There's
fucked.
pre-game
but-
drinks and victory drinks, and
Yeah,
there's
honestly.
probably going to be losers drinks if we lost. But...
Honestly, I still kind of want the mouse mat, to be honest. My mouse is fine. I was asking Aaron, I was like, yo, do you want to lose this? Because I kind of won the mouse mat, the second place.
I really
but-
wanted the mug, but we got the mugs. So that's the
Yeah,
only
we
thing I
got the
really cared
mug.
about.
All right, both of you get out of here. Go enjoy your game. I'm tired of both of you.
Alright, see you later,
Alright,
guys.
Yeah, thank you.
But-
Alright.
Thank you.
Ollie, what fantastic games we got
That
to
was
watch.
fun.
Right? We
That
got
was
to
fun.
watch so many good games. And first of all, shouts to the people over at NESA for putting this on. Always going to be a fantastic event. And shouts to the viewers. Thank you guys for watching. Another shout out to Overclockers, to Noble Chairs, to Endgame Gear for making this happen. And a shout out to Ollie Shouts. We haven't been able to cast in so long, partially because I've done a different game and you've been doing your thing. But it's been great to be back on the mic with you.
This has been very fun. It's been a while. And cheers for inviting me. And if you guys want to continue being entertained, make sure to watch TSM destroy Team Liquid over on twitch.tv/LCS.
Not gonna happen. But I guess that's all from us. So from me and Ollie and all the people over in NESA, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you guys in a bit. Peace.
Bye bye.